Fanthorpe, and I'll be your host today. And today we have the wonderful Jonty Hodge here from Kepla, and we're going to be introducing a digital advertising agency in your pocket. So Kepla is an amazing app that kind of allows you to coordinate things, look at your statistics. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in there. I'm not even going to delve into it because I'm going to let the expert, Jonty, get into it. Now, just a reminder, some of you have been tuning in on social media. If you want to drop some questions to Jonty, just pop them in the chat functions across Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you're here with us on Zoom, the chat function is open and the transcript is available. So please take advantage of those if you would like. So welcome, Jonty. Thanks so much for joining us here on Digital Boost.
Pleasure to be here and kind of introduce what we've been working on. So yeah, excited.
Yeah, really cool. So I'm going to let you do that. I want to open up these other channels because I know that everybody's been sitting out there.
Cool, sweet. So what I thought we'd kind of do is kind of talk about the bit of a journey and talk about our roadmap and what we've been building, just to provide some context as to where and how Kepla the platform came about, and what we're actually looking to develop to make it easy for any small business, any SME, any in-house marketer to run effective digital advertising campaigns, because we all know how hard and complex that can be. So I kind of just wanted to give a bit of a journey, a bit of a story behind that, and then dive into the platform just to kind of show you the key features or functionality that we've developed, just to make it super simple and super easy to set up multi-channel campaigns across Meta and Google and eventually other ad platforms, and then kind of field a bit of Q&A, do some potential use cases and other stuff as well. So we'll kind of just dive right into it. So a little bit of my background, when a lot of people develop solutions and stuff like that, you'd hope they'd have a background in digital advertising or digital marketing. So, my background's been in paid search and digital marketing for almost 10 years now. So, a lot of that I started at Trade Me, where we were managing, digital marketing budgets of up north of, $2 million a year. I was running hundreds of campaigns, very high complexity, a lot of cool stuff that we're doing. And then I joined YNR, which is an agency. So we worked across a number of businesses, handling their paid search and paid social campaign activity. Some of the big names there, Vodafone, Burger King, Hello World, and others. And then I co-founded a digital marketing agency with my business partner, Tim Dorian. So we grew that to a team of 22. We've worked with businesses, from small businesses, local businesses like Wellington Barbecues and Fire here in Wellington, right through to enterprises like Meridian Energy and government organizations. So we've been able to craft and help businesses run effective digital marketing campaigns and grow their businesses. And this is the kind of story, right, where it's like I found passion, 10 years ago in digital marketing, straight into search engine marketing, because that's my specialties. And then I was like, how do I help other businesses with this? That's why I joined YNR, joined an agency to kind of work with a number of businesses to kind of help them develop their digital strategies, help them grow their business. And then really one of the main reasons why we co-founded Ara Digital was like, we wanted to create something that which provided, transparent results for the businesses that we work with, collaboration. And there's a lot of cowboys in the digital marketing industry, right? And so Tim and I kind of set out on a journey, embarked on a journey to kind of just provide really solid results, go above and beyond for all the customers that we work with. But the challenge with that that I found was, as we grew as a company, we could only work with so many businesses, and to me that was a bit of an issue, a bit of a challenge, where it's like, well, there's so many businesses out there that need a platform or a solution or a service that it kind of has their back, right? Where it's like allows them to still be able to get the results and see the results of what they would see by working with an agency, but that they could do it themselves, that they had the tools, the confidence and expertise to kind of be able to do it themselves, run effective campaigns, and also have that guidance and support along the way. And so that's where we kind of ventured into building the Kepla platform, which is effectively a digital advertising agency in your pocket. So the main challenges, as a business owner, right, for small businesses, your marketing dollars are super precious, right? And sometimes it can be incredibly hard to understand that return on investment. So that's, how many leads are you getting? How many conversions are you getting? How many pitches are you getting from your campaign activity? You might be doing a number of marketing initiatives and you're not necessarily sure what the investment, the return that you're getting on that investment, right? You might have engaged or dabbled in employing an agency or bring someone in to help manage the digital advertising, and you haven't necessarily been sure about the results, or when you weigh up the costs, right, the cost to kind of employ engage an agency can be quite expensive, and for a lot of businesses, they don't necessarily need that full specialist expertise, and for us, our mission is to kind of make sure that you get the best marketing return on your marketing dollars without having to pay thousands of dollars a month for a consultant or agency. So that's why Kepla exists. The other thing that you would have kind of picked up on if you've run digital marketing campaigns or digital advertising campaigns is that you have to learn all these platforms. You have to learn Meta ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, LinkedIn ads. You have to understand Google Analytics or GA4. You might have dabbled in kind of setting up ads or running campaigns across local publishers like Stuff or NZ Herald, and you might have dabbled in digital billboards or something like that. And for us, the whole digital advertising ecosystem is fragmented, right? Because you have to manage all of that. You have to understand what's working, what you're spending, where am I actually seeing that return on investment, and to do that across multiple channels. Typically, that's where you might actually look to engage an agency, right, just to kind of take care of it. But even then, that can be quite expensive. So we see a world where our customers can run all their digital advertising within one place, and it's super simple to do so. And I stress the simplicity element there. And as as a small business, like having to understand the complexities of ad platforms and digital marketing and the strategies and the playbooks can take a lot of time. So, this is why I plotted out, which I think, really shows all the different stuff that you need to know in order to be able to run, effective digital campaigns, right? So I've kind of gone through this journey, and, you need to study digital marketing or have some knowledge about marketing. You need to write all the ad copy, you need to pull the ads together, you need to know what channels to use. You might need to create a dashboard or or a reporting system. You might have a CRM that you need to link. You might need to buy other subscriptions, and then you need to create the campaigns in the platform, right? And sometimes that can be a bit of a spaghetti nightmare when it comes to creating campaigns inside these platforms, because there's all these settings and dials that you see that they tell you to switch on and off, and you're like, oh, I don't know which ones are going to work best for my business. And then you need to understand what's working and analyze the performance to actually optimize your campaigns and maximize the return on investment that you're getting. So there's so much that you need to do to be able to run effective campaigns. There's a lot of different touch points in here. And we see a future state where we kind of take care of that for you, right? Where it's like all you need to do is kind of create your ads in Canva or another tool, and upload them and run them in Kepla, and we take care of everything for you. And that's where the platform comes in. So we want to make it simple for businesses to run effective ads. So what Kepla is a digital advertising agency in your pocket. Our tool helps you create, manage, and optimize your campaigns so you can focus on growing your business. So we're trying to make it super simple for anyone to do that. And we've had a lot of cool success stories already from small businesses or marketing coordinators or people who manage the marketing for a company, pick this tool up, run with it, even ditch their agency and save thousands of dollars in the process and actually run more effective campaigns as well. Any questions or thoughts?
We're good so far.
Cool. Sweet. So I'll kind of go through some key features of the platform, which we can kind of run through, and then we can kind of dive through the demo, right? So we allow you to create and manage campaigns directly within Kepla. So you don't need to go into Google Ads or Meta Ads or other ad platforms. So you can create multi-channel campaigns within a simplified campaign wizard. So you don't need to think about the ad structure or the ad set and how everything should be structured or segmented. We kind of take care of that for you. So you just need to focus on creating your ads, setting a budget and setting those audiences. You'll eventually be able to manage the leads generated. So you'll be able to capture all those leads that you've generated from your campaigns and send that to your CRM. So if you use HubSpot or MailChimp or a different CRM, you'll be able to kind of send those all together within to your CRM. You'll be able to eventually build audiences within the platform as well. So you'll be able to create audiences. So if you want to remarket back to your website visitors or your existing customers or build lookalikes, you can do that within the platform. And there's some other platform features that we're working on as well. The other great thing about this is that we're going to take steps towards helping you auto optimize your campaign. So one of the cool things that we're about to release is, budget optimization. So rather than you having to think about where should I spend my money on Meta or on Google, we'll redistribute your budget automatically for you based on your campaign goals or objectives, whether it's leads or purchases or driving traffic to your website. We've got a really cool proprietary piece of tech to help you stay on top of changes, right? Because you're busy. You don't want to be in these platforms day in, day out, looking at ads and seeing, what's working, what's not. Should I pause ads? Should I make changes? What we do is we actually tell you which ads or which campaigns that you actually might do an ad refresh on. So in this case, there might be your ad engagement for a campaign's going down. We'll actually tell you in advance before that happens. So you can actually make those changes proactively. And we alert you to those changes as well. So it's a really simple tool to kind of help you stay on top and alert you to when you actually need to make changes to your campaigns without having to go into the platforms on a daily or weekly basis. And there's some other stuff that we're working on as well when it comes to optimization. Now, the main thing, one of the key parts, right, is to be able to pull all the data together. So you've got Google ads, and you've got Meta ads. You might be running campaigns across that. You might have other platforms. So we've got a full reporting suite built into the platform as well. So there's a full multi-channel cross-platform dashboard, right? So we show the amount of impressions, clicks, conversions, purchases or leads that you might be receiving, or it might be driving from your campaigns. And we pull that all into one report, and we have weekly and monthly reports that we kind of send through. So a real just simple distilled dashboard. So you can kind of just log in or receive the weekly alert, and you know how your campaigns are performing across all channels, top performing campaigns, and any changes that you need to make as well. You can also manage your campaigns or any existing campaigns that you have created within Google or within Meta, so you can toggle them on and off, so you can pause underperforming campaigns or enable campaigns as well. So we've built in some functionality for you to actually manage existing campaigns already within the platform, and we're going to be building on this as well.
We've got a question here, Jonty. Do you want to cover it now or wait?
Yeah.
It's about integration. So
yeah.
At work, we're about to implement Hail as our web platform and comms tool. Have you heard of this, and does Kepla integrate?
No, not at the moment. So what we're looking at is a number of integration tools, and we're factoring which ones people use the most, right? So when it comes to integrations, we're looking at CRMs in particular for a number of reasons. But if there's other tools that people use, we can definitely take that on board and factor that into our roadmap. Cool.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Sweet. And as you can see here, we've got some other stuff that we're working on. In terms of our roadmap, there's a lot that we're working on at the moment. And so this is what we've released over the last month, what we're releasing this month. So again, this is in beta. So there's a lot of things that we're kind of working out and rolling out, and we're taking on board feedback. So a lot of big things that we're doing, big piece of what we're doing is around the reporting suite over the next month. So we're kind of talking to our existing customers, talking to existing users around additional reporting functionality that they want to see as well. Cool. Sweet. And I've got the difference in pricing there, and I've actually got a Digital Boost exclusive as well. But I can send this through as a slide deck in terms of if you're looking to sign up and try and test out the platform. There's actually an exclusive offer that we've got in conjunction with Digital Boost. Cool.
Oh yeah, is that live? I'm just going to go check and see if that's live, and I'll grab the link.
Yeah, we've extended it to May, the end of May. And I'll kind of send through some updated details as well.
Perfect.
Cool. Awesome. Sweet. So let's dive into Kepla. It's pretty straightforward to sign up. So you can sign up with your Google or Meta account, right? And let me just go into here. So you can sign up with your Google or Meta account. And what this allows you to do is you can, as a small business, all you need to do to kind of set up the platform is go into integrations, link your Google and Meta ad account. Note that we've only got Meta and Google to start with, but we're looking at adding LinkedIn next month, looking at adding TikTok, digital out of home, and other channels, as well as other aforementioned integrations like the CRMs and stuff like that as well. So we're rolling those out one by one. So it's pretty straightforward to link your ad platforms. You go in here to hit connect. You then sign into your Google or Facebook account. If you've already signed in or signed up with your Google account, it'll pull through the ad platforms, and you can just toggle that on and off as well. And that will automatically populate your cross-platform dashboard, which gives you your impressions, clicks, spend, conversions, purchase value, return on ad spend, and more, as well as all the campaigns as well. So let me just bring this one up. So here we can obviously combine it from all different platforms, so conversions, conversion rate, and we send this through as part of a weekly and monthly report. You can go and see how your campaigns are trending, over a weekly time period. You can go and change and plot, conversions over time. So say, for example, you wanted to just move this. If you wanted to look over like this year, you can go January to March, the first quarter of the year. You can actually look at the trend and see how you're trending in terms of conversions or like your return on ad spend. And it's a nice kind of segmentation to kind of plot. You can obviously plot that by week, month, and different time periods as well. You can also toggle your campaigns on and off. So any existing campaigns that you've created through here, you can toggle on and off. You can see the status, get a score, see the impressions, clicks, click-through rate, cost per click, conversions, reach, and more. We also provide a benchmarking score. So we're working on some benchmarking functionality. So that takes the leading metric of a certain campaign and benchmarks it against other advertisers. So say, for example, you're running a leads campaign. We look at the cost per lead rate, and we actually plot that and actually compare you. So say, for example, you might have campaigns that are in the top 10% or bottom percent, and that kind of gives you a gauge of, it's an age-old question, right, of how my campaigns are performing compared to other advertisers. That's a question that we've gotten heaps throughout my time, and that's what a lot of marketers or businesses want to know, right? When it's like, oh, I've got a cost per click, or my agency's telling me like I've got a cost per click of $1 or $2, but is that good? How does that compare? So we're going to be building on that benchmarking functionality and eventually have that broken down by industry as well. So specific industries, if you're in e-commerce or you're in a law firm, you'll be able to benchmark your different kind of metrics performance against other law firms. So we're super excited about some of that functionality that's coming out as well. And then predictions. So here you can see what we do is we actually alert you to certain campaigns that you should make changes or act upon. So you've got the meta campaign here. So here you can see there's like a median chance that the click-through rate of an ad is going to decrease by 20% over the next week. So we serve up some recommendations that you should do. So it's like, hey, you should actually look to refresh your ads now. You should actually add more audiences or expand your audience targeting to reach more people. So at the moment, these are kind of best practice recommendations, but we plan on personalizing those and making those dynamic. So say, for example, we'll kind of feed through which locations are actually going to underperform. So it might be, Wellington is a location that you should exclude on your campaign, or you should actually pause these ads. So this will allow you to stay on top of any changes that you might need to make to your campaigns. Any questions so far?
Sorry, just copy pasting. Yes, there are questions. So I'm pulling them from Facebook. So is there A/B testing available across the platforms? And is our competitive analysis private or open available to competitors to see?
Yeah, cool. So when it comes to the two questions, what was the first question?
Yeah, sorry, Jonty.
Yes.
Is there A/B testing available across the platforms?
Yeah, so at the moment, there's no A/B testing functionality. The easiest thing that I would do is actually set up and segment your campaign. So if you wanted to test one set of audiences against another, we've just released a duplicate functionality. So you can go and duplicate the same campaign with the same ads, then switch out the audiences and then run those side by side. A/B testing will be coming in the future, but it's not something that we necessarily see as a primary feature for a lot of small businesses in particular, right? Where it's like the main goal is actually just to run effective campaigns. A/B testing is probably not necessarily in the toolkit yet.
Okay, cool. And then the second question is our competitive analysis private or open/available to competitors to see?
Yeah, so in terms of the benchmarking score, you don't actually see your the different advertising names, so it's all aggregated and anonymized. So we just plot the distribution of a certain metric across a distribution curve, and then we put those into kind of quartiles. So none of that data gets fed through, so competitors can see your kind of click-through rate or conversion rate or anything like that. It's all anonymized. We're working on the potential idea of actually just having it by industry as a starting point, but they can't actually see your specific metrics.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Sweet. And so then the main thing here is to be able to create campaigns. So in this case, we've kind of got these campaign goals. So each campaign goal has a certain kind of flow to it, and we recommend certain ad types based on the objective that you've selected. So if you wanted to drive high quality traffic to your website, generate leads, drive a specific website website interaction, you can select the goal that is best suited towards the objective that you want to achieve, or the success measure that you want to achieve. Now, what we'll do in next week when it comes to the playbooks is we'll kind of talk about and dive into the different strategies and approaches that certain businesses or verticals or industries can take, and we'll kind of go through and set up each campaign and structure it in a way that I would structure it to achieve the best outcome. So we'll segment by prospecting, so trying to reach new customers, and retargeting and layering that as well. But for this intents and purposes, we'll kind of just run through a couple of campaign scenarios. So in a lot of cases, for a lot of people, depending on your objective, you'd probably want to drive, there's a couple of nuances here. You probably want to look at engagement objectives. So that's where you're kind of optimizing towards a certain event or certain key interaction. So that might be a purchase, a lead, a contact, some sort of website interaction, right? Driving traffic to your website. So we configure the campaigns to try and maximize the number of landing page views that you receive from your campaigns. And then generate leads is obviously on platform lead generation. So that's if you've got Facebook forms or Meta forms or Google Ads lead extension available, you can generate leads as well. Gross sales is product campaign. So we're about to release that this week, is performance max campaign type, which you might have heard of, and product catalog campaigns for Meta as well. So any e-commerce businesses out there, you can go and set up these campaigns. Set up those shopping campaigns as well. So those are definitely a must. So we'll kind of go through next week's kind of workshop and run through those different campaign types and how you can actually set those up for the best success. But we're going to kind of go into drive traffic objective. So at the moment, it's just we've got a integration issue here. So I just need to go and fix this. I'm just going to stop. Pause share. I just need to go and reconnect the account. Classic Meta. One moment.
And then once you get in, we've got a question. Or are you loading? So do you want to answer the question while it's doing its thing, or are you busy doing stuff in the background? There we go.
So yeah, so I just had to relink. So the Meta integration, their linking system can be quite finicky. Cool, awesome. Sweet. What was the question?
Okay, so the question is, and they said, you don't have to ask this, but I actually think it's a good question. It says, what unique features or innovations does your social media management platform offer that differentiate it from established competitors?
Wow, that's an interesting question.
I know, there you go. Look, sell it, Jonty.
Yeah. Yeah. So the main guesswork is the main thing that we take into account is obviously we provide a reporting solution, which is super easy and digestible for a lot of businesses to kind of get a snapshot of their overall marketing performance, to pull dashboards together, and to build a dashboard and to synthesize all your marketing data or advertising data. There's a number of solutions out there, but they can be quite costly and quite hard to set up and integrate. So this is a very simple solution to do that. Secondary is the prediction stuff. So that is a very unique feature. So helping you stay on top of your campaigns and in a way that allows you to kind of proactively manage them and make changes to your campaigns in advance before there's a deterioration in performance is pretty groundbreaking. From my knowledge, there's very little or no companies that are actually doing that in this way. And secondly, and then thirdly to that, the campaign creation wizard. So the main problem with these the main challenge with these tools like Google Ads and Meta Ads, unless you are an expert and you have had years and years of experience of being able to run campaigns, to go into these platforms and structure and configure the relevant settings in the right way is problematic, and it actually leads to non-optimal results, right? So we kind of take that care of that for you throughout the campaign creation process. So you don't need to worry, what settings do I need to choose? How do I need to structure my campaigns? We kind of take care of that for you in this process. So you just need to focus on a couple of things. And the main thing that I would say to that is, when you go to an agency, a lot of their value comes in those initial stages, right? Where it's like they kind of do the strategy and they kind of set up these campaigns, right? But at the end of the day, the value can actually diminish, particularly for a lot of small businesses, right? Where you don't have massive budgets, you're not running 50 campaigns or 100 campaigns, right? You don't need a sledgehammer. So the main part is in how they actually set up the campaigns, how they structure them, and because this platform takes care of that for you. And does it in a way that an agency would set it up. That's a huge value add. So a case in point, like one of the brief examples is if you ever run a display campaign on here, we actually automatically exclude all the app placements on a campaign, because that's really low quality ad inventory. So what people don't realize when they're running a display campaign is a lot of the times their ads are being served across, the app placements on a mobile game. Like if you play Sudoku or something like that. The problem with that is that most of that's misclick. So people are just clicking on your ad accidentally because the placement isn't actually ideal. It's not high quality. And so that's where a lot of your budget gets spent, right? So for a lot of small businesses, that knowledge is very unfamiliar, if not, non-existent. So the fact that we do all these little things behind the scenes in terms of the campaign configuration is a huge value add.
Well, you went into it you went into it thinking, I looked at you and I thought, we've put him on the spot here, and then you nailed it. So
yeah, I feel like that was a very broad, it was a very interesting question. Yeah.
Well, it just shows your expertise and how much you have looked at the competitors as well and seen the gaps and gone, hey, how can we actually fill these gaps and create better value for small businesses, with limited budgets.
So yeah, 100%. So the main tools out there, right? If you've got digital specialists, like a lot of digital specialist tools, I've used them, in the past. The challenges with those, right, is it's only for people who have, 5 years experience in digital marketing, or in these platforms day in, day out, want all these dials. They want all these controls because they're trying to optimize the campaigns, right? And a lot of that, in my perspective, from my perspective, should be simplified. There needs to be a simpler solution. The other factor is cost. Like when it comes to a lot of these tools, and you look at some of the enterprise tools where like one of the main enterprise tools is like Campaign Manager, like DV360. That's inaccessible to most small businesses, right? And that's that platform allows them to run programmatic campaigns across, local publishers and stuff like that. But that's only accessible to certain people. Otherwise, most small businesses have to buy direct to stuff, and then the reporting can be like just a screenshot of how many times the ad's been served, right? So that's not necessarily useful. So what we're trying to do is build a very simple ecosystem that combines all those platforms together, and there's definitely a gap in the market for that. Some of initial customers have said that, this is kind of like the Canva, but for digital advertising. Not my words, their words. And that's kind of something that we're looking to play on. How do we make it simple rather than adding all these features and dials to the platform?
Yeah, like really intuitive, really user friendly. I mean, that's what we want when we don't want to have to spend heaps of time on the creation. We know the importance of the creation of these things. Obviously, you
Yes.
want to get traffic there, but if your specialization is making, wooden toys or something, you
Yeah.
want to be spending your time doing some of the creation of your goods and not having to learn a whole new language in order
Yeah.
to get to your target market. So wonderful. Thanks, John.
100%. Yeah. And the other thing just to know on that is, like, for a lot of businesses, the main bottleneck is to understand the return on investment. So as part of our onboarding and platform, we actually have an add-on which actually sets up all the tracking and measurement for them. So to make sure that they're actually sending the right events and conversions of data and can create these audiences within the platform, right? That's a huge challenge that we see for most small businesses. And that's the first step, is actually that piece. We plan on adding that, building it into the product as part of our, in the next year or so. But we help onboard businesses to kind of set them up for that success as well, but do it in a very cost-effective and affordable way.
So on that note, like that's basically talking about support. What kind of support wraparound do you give for folks that do register for Kepla?
Yeah, cool. So we've got a number of things that we're rolling out, but the initial one is the digital strategy workshop. So you can get that, and that's a full comprehensive workshop, right? Because that's the key piece, right? Where it's like, as a business, so you can go and use a tool like this, but you still need that, maybe like a strategy approach, right? You might need a 12-month marketing plan. You might need to have, you might need to kind of iron out who are your kind of key customer segments, all that stuff. So that's a huge thing. That's a big thing that we do, is we have a one-off add-on that kind of runs that through the organization. We do a full 2-hour strategy workshop. We analyze your competitors. We look at your existing campaigns or anything that you've run, and we kind of set up a plan. And it's like, hey, here's your plan. Here's your marketing plan for the next 12 months. And we then have a secondary add-on, which is the tracking and measurement side of things, which we help to then set up all your tracking and measurement for you as well. On top of that, when you sign up to the platform, as part of the onboarding process, we actually help migrate your campaigns over to Kepla as well. So you can actually easily edit them within the platform if you're running existing campaigns. We also help you set up these campaigns and create draft campaigns. So we go in there and be like, hey, here's the types of campaigns that you should run, boom, boom, boom. And we kind of set up those, and then we run you through those as well. So we want to kind of set you up for success. And those are some of the things that we do as part of the standard onboarding experience. And then at any point in time, you can hit us up to kind of review campaigns, or you've got questions on campaign performance. You can find it through in our chat, or flick us an email. So there is that level of specialist support on top of this, which is also super important, right? There's, a platform can do so much, but it's the support around it. And we plan on having heaps of other content and educational tools and videos and how-tos on top.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, Jonty.
Cool. No worries. Sweet. So what we're going to do here is just allocate the budget. So what you can do is specify, say 50% towards Meta and 50% towards Google Ads. We'll be releasing a feature which will as I mentioned, auto optimize that budget across the different platforms as well. So you don't need to calculate the daily spends and other stuff between the platforms. You can kind of set it all up within one Kepla campaign. So ideal for small businesses where I just want to run a single campaign and I want to push it across multiple channels as well. And here you can select your location targeting and demographic targeting, and then audiences. So at the moment, we pull through all the different kind of demographics, interests, as well as any existing custom audiences or lookalikes that you might have. So again, this is something that we just pull through from the platforms. We plan on having the ability for you to create your own audiences using your own custom data within Kepla in the near future. But we just pull these through from the different ad platforms as well. And then from here, you get to your creative, right? So all you need to do is just jump into Meta. And we've kind of got the AI ad generation tool. I know this, when we first caught up a few weeks ago, this wasn't working because the API. There was an API issue. It was really funny. It was the same day
It's not
released
your
our.
issue though. It was
It
actually
wasn't. Yeah.
ChatGPT's issue. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's funny. That's good timing, isn't it?
Mhm.
And so the landing page, so all you need to do is input your landing page URL. You can kind of specify what you want the copy to, how you want to, like what you want to input into potential copy. So you could say for a certain target audience, you could add heaps of stuff into this input selection as well. But we also scrape, and we also obviously use the landing page content as well to inform the ad copy. And then that generates all the ad copy variations. So you can see here we've scraped 4 different variations of ad text, headlines, and descriptions. And then all you need to do is upload your images or your ads. We've got some cool things that we're doing in the ad space or the image and asset generation space to simplify that as well for static ads. And eventually some add-on services as well around video ad creation for businesses. So there's some cool stuff happening, and that's pretty much your meta campaign. So I've got this thing where I'm promoting my a football boot, my new football boot. I've created all the ad variants, and I'm all good to go. So I can create that ad as well. And the great thing is I can create multiple kind of ads or ad themes if I want to promote multiple products within the campaign, and I can do that all within here. For people who want a bit more control, you can obviously select a certain placement. So say, for example, you just wanted to run on a Reels placement on Instagram, you can also do that. So you can specify the type of ad that you want to run. And then for Google Ads, so with this one, we recommend certain ad types, obviously based on the objective that you've selected. So you could then create like a standard search ad, right? And again, we have the AI ad creation, which does the keyword stuff. Now this needs some tweaking. For the most part, so we're actually just working on some improvements to this this week. But this will generate the keywords and the ad copy and other stuff. Naturally, there's obviously the character count limits that you need to adhere to for a standard search campaign. So we're kind of just working on fine-tuning that the API as well. And that's kind of your search campaign done. And then you hit next, and that kind of gives you a review state. So you can see a full kind of breakdown of your campaign, and then you can hit launch, and that will set up the campaign, structure them, and launch them into the ether as well. Again, when it comes to these campaign goals, some of the ad types and what's actually included and what you can do within each ad type changes. So for engagement, you can select obviously the engagement objective. For leads, you can set the lead drop-down form, and for sales, you'll be able to select the different product groups and product assets and stuff like that for sales or product catalog campaign. So we kind of configure and change that creation flow based on the objective that you've selected. Now, to take it one step further, we also are looking at developing what we call ad journeys, right, which is a sequence or a combination of campaigns that you should set up based on your industry or objective. So we plan on doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of that strategy component in the future. So you'll just need to kind of input your industry, and it'll be like, hey, and your objective in terms of I want to increase purchases, and we'll kind of guide you through a sequence of campaign types or campaigns that you should set up with relevant audience. So we plan on doing a lot of the heavy lifting and the strategy for you as part of this campaign creation process as well. Cool. The other things to mention is once you've kind of created your campaigns, you can obviously go and edit these. Within here, you can duplicate campaigns if you wanted to kind of test out different audiences as well. And then we're just kind of building our reporting suite. So at the moment, everyone gets, if you've just got a single, if you've just set up, you'll kind of be auto opted into them, but you have weekly, monthly reporting overviews, which gives you a snapshot of your performance week on week or month on month, as well as top performing campaigns based on key metrics like CPC and spend, conversions and conversion rate, clicks and click-through rate. So it provide like a real simple, easy snapshot, because for a lot of small businesses, right, they just want to be told when they need to make changes to their campaigns, which is the predictions, and how are my campaigns performing. And that's enough for a lot of small businesses. Cool. Any other questions?
Nope, we're good for right now.
Cool. Awesome. And so the other thing to think about is we've also got the ability to say, for example, we see with we're talking to a number of real estate companies, for example, or a lot of businesses who might have franchises. So this is a real interesting thing where you can actually create or sign up for what we call like a multi-account plan. So say, for example, you're an organization which might have franchises all across New Zealand, right? One of the big benefits of this is that you can actually set up and go to your kind of customers or clients or accounts or whatever you call it and create individual Kepla accounts for each of those, say, franchises. So you could actually bring together all your digital advertising or marketing for, a certain franchise. So think of a plumbing franchise or a property management franchise or a real estate franchise or somewhere where you've kind of got lots of different locations. So we've had some cool success from people being able to bring that all to companies, bring all their kind of locations, all the digital advertising from different locations together to compare and contrast and manage and control and oversee all their digital advertising as well. So that's part of the multi-account feature, quite similar to Xero.
Yeah. So we do have a question now. They said, last question, promise. Can Kepla aggregate and provide demographic insights specific to the New Zealand and Australia regions?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, there's a lot of data and reporting functionality that we can build on to help with, market research or user or demographic and insight data. That's definitely what we're looking at as part of our reporting kind of reporting improvements and reporting functionality. That's something that is of interest for some business, but it's not in our direct roadmap at the moment. But if there's enough customers who want that, then we'll prioritize it as well. But it's definitely doable.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Cool. So that's pretty much it in terms of the platform. So again, the main things that you need to do in order to actually kind of get started is just to sign up, link your ad accounts. You'll get a full reporting overview. Predictions will start coming through, so they refresh daily. Going ahead and setting up a campaign, trying to set up a campaign and pushing that live, toggling on those weekly, monthly reports. And that's pretty much it. Those are the kind of steps that you need to do to kind of pull everything together. Now, something to just also factor in is we're just making some improvements as we speak. So we saw that quite a few people have signed up on their mobile. In the next day or so, this whole platform will be fully functional on your mobile device. So you'll be able to just log in, check to see your performance, launch campaigns if you want, toggle on and off campaigns, ad groups and ads and more. So that's where we see a huge value in this platform as well. So people on the go, people who want to check on the performance of their campaigns, they can actually just log into Kepla on their mobile device and actually just manage all of their marketing from their phone, which we're actually super excited about. So we know that a lot of businesses are super busy. They might not have the time to go into the platform on the desktop. So having that fully accessible on your mobile device with full functionality as well, so you can create campaigns. We'll be able to create campaigns on mobile is super cool. So it just makes it a lot more accessible for people to access. We have had some requests to create an app, which we are exploring in the near future as well. Cool. And so that's pretty much it from me.
Okay, awesome. And did you want to show that Digital Boost offer? If you're on the Digital Boost platform, is this the new offer?
Yeah, this is the new offer as well.
Is our offer on the platform up to date? Do you know?
So I'll send this through. I don't think it's up to date on the platform. So if you sign up to an annual plan now, so for a small business, it's $49 a month plus 1% of media spend. So if you're running, $500, that's an extra $5 on top of the plan. So we've tried to price it in a way that is quite affordable and a bit of a no-brainer for a lot of, for most businesses, right? But on top of that, because we're still in beta, and for Digital Boost, we're actually offering a further 20% off on our annual plan. So our annual plan's already discounted. So if you factor in another 20% off, if you sign up for an annual plan before May the 30th, May the end of May, that's only going to be around like $300 or so for the entire year. The other thing that we're looking at is actually a do-it-for-me waitlist, so also a managed service as well, for additional strategy advice and support on top of what we provide. And we've got a waitlist for creative delivery services, so people who are super time poor and don't have the ability or capacity to create creative or video ads. We're working on a delivery service directly within Kepla to be able to order
Cool.
high performing ad creatives, which is going to be super cool as well.
Yeah. So we've got a question here. It says your website says dynamic budget allocation is coming soon. What sort of time frame do you think it will be ready?
Within the next month.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to jump across and make sure that we don't have any questions on the other channels because they're coming from there. Looks like we're pretty good across channels. We handled them as we came in. So thanks so much, everybody, for joining. And we'll get this digital boost offer link and everything updated on the site. So that'll be all right. But if you take a screenshot or something, what do they just like contact you or do they need to do the link?
So there's a landing page that I'll send through as part of that. So you can link to the landing page, which has all the detail of what they need to do.
All right. You don't want to, do you have that landing page right now? You want to drop it in the chat?
Yeah, I can drop it in the chat.
If you drop it in the chat, then I can spread it across every platform, which will be good.
Yeah.
And thanks so much for everybody who contributed today by asking questions. It always makes the session richer because it also allows folks like Jonty to know what you're thinking about, what you need, and then they can go and build those things. So that, I mean, that's pretty cool as well. That customer kind of feedback or just, in general, feedback is imperative to making these platforms work for you. So yeah. Now I'm going to give, while Jonty's getting that link, just a heads up, we're going to be doing a workshop with Jonty. I think that's the 27th of April, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's next week.
We're going to be doing a workshop with Jonty. So if you have Kepla and you want to learn, or you want to go in and like create like an account and you want to learn how to do all this stuff yourself, we're going to be doing a workshop with him on that date. So those are closed sessions. They're not on social media. You do need to register via Digital Boost to get access to them. And this Thursday, our workshop is with Sam Harith, who from the SH Advisory, the comic accountant, as it is tax time, baby. So we are going to be doing how to file taxes yourself with the IRD if you're self-employed. So tune into that on, I can't click on that though. Let me copy paste into the chat. You got an actual link? Give me an actual link. There we go. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, folks, those of you that are on the Zoom, you'll have that in the chat. If you have any issues, let us know. If you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, I'm dropping it now. Feel free to grab it. All right, cool. This session, once we finish recording, everything will get finalized. It'll be uploaded onto Digital Boost, so you can rewatch any parts that you feel like you need to watch again if you did. But it seems like if you jump on platform, you can learn it all there anyway. And with the support team that they have going on, I love that part that you transfer the existing campaigns over to, because that's that's a pain. Yeah, nobody wants that pain point. So just a thanks, Jonty. There, I'm going to stop the recording now. I feel like we're good. And everyone have a wonderful day. Jonty, thanks so much for joining us here on Digital Boost. And thank you for creating tools that make small business easier. That's what we really need in this life, so we can get back to the things that we're passionate about if marketing isn't our passion. And really love all the work that you're doing here to help us all. Oh, can't see the link. Let me grab that link. If you drop it again, sometimes if people jump on and then jump off, they can't see the chat from before. There we go. All right, y'all should have it now. Contact support if you need any additional support at digitalboost.co.nz. We are here to help, and we'd love to learn about your business and what you're doing and see if we can't help you achieve some of your goals. And we've got some content on there from last week. That session also, or when we did our last session, there was a really great, what was your last session, Jonty? It was
there was three underrated or top performing strategies, or ultimate strategies for Meta and Google Ads. So we actually had some
with a
really
limited budget.
with a limited
Yeah.
budget. So there's quite some cool tactics in there as well. And just for the next week's workshop session, we'll be diving into hopefully all four or five industries. So that's e-commerce, property or real estate, SaaS, and service-based businesses, in terms of, hey, here's the playbook that you should set up, in terms of the types of campaigns that you should set up, the audiences that you should use, the events that you should use to optimize your campaigns, to build your kind of full functioning kind of digital advertising funnel, specific to those industries. So it's going to be quite in depth, hopefully, but useful.
Yeah, that was cool. Now I realized you were posting the link to just me.
Oh, sorry.
I've dropped that link into the chat there. So if you're still hanging on, it's there. It'll also be uploaded onto the Digital Boost provider offers area. You guys should be able to see the link. Give me a thumbs up. And that link is across all the social media anyway. So those guys are all set up. So you should all be set up. Last session we had was 3 most effective digital and strategies for businesses with a limited budget. It was really insightful. Check that out if you want more content, and join us on the 27th for the workshop on Kepla. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and see you next time. Kaki day. All right. See you, Jonty. Oh, have a great day, guys. Kaki day. Join me for the tax. Join me for the tax. I know you guys don't want to come to the tax one possibly, but Sam puts the fun in finance, and there's nothing better to learn about than your finances. If you're in small business, it's going to help you to achieve your goals and know where you're at. Have a wonderful day. Kaki day.